Hello, hello, hello. Shout out to Kaleidoscope Multimedia for allowing me to do this for you. And I am Roxie, and I am here to talk to you today about my journey in radio and in education. I've been on air at 93.5 New York's only Caribbean station, also known as Irie Jam Radio, representing for Haiti. And I'm also an adjunct professor at Iona College teaching radio courses. I was born in Brooklyn and my hometown is Elma. So shout out to Brooklyn and Long Island. Now, look, I'm not probably tell you stuff that you've heard already today or maybe haven't. I had a real untraditional and unconventional way of getting into radio. I did not do any internships in any radio stations. I was not best friends with any of the local popular talent. I did not have a foot in. I didn't know anybody. I basically just hustled and networked my way in. How did I network? I shook hands. Nowadays, that's something that you can't do, but you guys and ladies have the internet and social web sphere or whatever you want to call it at your fingertips. So make those introductions, be appropriate, look at your image and what you're putting out there, because that's the new way to say hello and the new way to tell people about yourselves. I was old school, traditional. So I did the shaking hands. I said, my name is, I used my real name. I asked people how they were. I followed up with thank you letters and, little coffee breaks, going out to lunch, sitting and having personal one-on-one time, which a lot of people don't believe in these days, which is truly sad. But if we could get back to that, as history does have a habit of repeating itself, get in the habit of doing that and not being afraid or lazy about getting up with somebody and getting to know them. All right. So, probably the first internship I had that I remember that I was there the longest was Cats Media. That was on 57th between 5th and 6th. I did sales. So a lot of the internships I did in radio had to do with research and sales. I know that sounds boring, but for anybody and any of you out there who do want to work in media, but also have entrepreneurial, visions for their future, like I do. I want to own the station. I don't want to just be at the station and be in front of the mic. So it was important for me to know every aspect of radio, meaning, the sales. Who am I selling to? Who are the clients? Who are the advertisers? Because at the end of the day, we can listen to music all we want, but what really makes us money at the radio station is them commercials and those advertisers and those sponsors. So you want to know that side of radio. You don't want to be ignorant to the fact that there's just one thing you can do at the station. There are many different aspects to running a radio station. So that was important for me to know. I wanted to know who was the top dog. I wanted to know who was the manager, who was the sales manager, who were the reps making money. How were they doing it? On top of that, you want to know the CEO, who owns this joint. Get them on your radar, get on their radar. That was just some of the ways I literally used my gift of being polite, saying something as simple as, thank you, how are you, miss? How was your day today? Sending little letters. That got me far. To tell you the truth, just a quick fact, that's how I got to working at 107.5 WBLS for 5 years. I sent a polite email and someone actually answered me back. So think about that as you think about your story and how you got into things and how you plan on getting into things. So yes, affiliation is important. If you know Fresher and I don't know what other popular rapper, if you know Cardi B and that's a cousin of a cousin, sixth cousin removed, good for you. That's great. But how is that going to help you in the future? Always ask yourself that question. Now, a lot of the times when you hear people talk about their careers and how they got places, that always involves school and education, correct? We get it. Very important to be in school, learn while you're in school. A lot of the skills you will have to use towards your desired field will be learned at school. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go all the way to the top and go through every program, get every master's degree, get every doctoral degree. That is if you desire that. I desired that, which is why I'm still a student. Till this day, I'm a doctoral student because I wanted to aim higher. But that is my personal journey and my personal goal, and it does not have to be yours. You can simply, get your education from the streets. There's a lot of people that are street smart, that just know how to have the gift of gab, that know how to get out there and hustle. There's a special thing when a person can be educated in a classroom and combine it with the education that they get from their local neighborhood or from, like we like to say, the streets. So if you could do that, the special it factor will come to you naturally, and other people will see it and gravitate towards you. Always remember that. So yes, going to school, getting an education is extremely important, but learning the little things is even more important to your career. What are the little things? Reading, writing, etiquette, your manners. Yeah, that seems simple, right? That seems like first grader, second grader, third grader stuff. Well, sometimes you got to go back to the simple things in life to remind you of the bigger things you want in life. So you've got to keep in mind what's important. And what's important and what will be your base and your foundation will always be the simple things, the hellos, the thank yous, the please. Simple things, folks. I can't stress this enough. And I learned this, thankfully, at a very early age, that sometimes when you keep it simple, the more simple you do things, and I'm telling y'all a secret without telling y'all, the more successful it is. Think about all the ideas that are out there that are making billions of dollars. Think about the Facebooks and the Instagrams. What is Instagram? An application where you post up pictures. What is Facebook? An application where you put up statuses and you connect with the old and the new. How simple is that? That's all I'm saying. Now, working in radio, I didn't even get to the teaching part yet, but I will get to it. But working in radio for the past 15 years, yes, I said 15 years, within this New York City market. So meaning I have not left New York to do radio, which is a blessing on itself. A big misconception I get when I go and do career days and talk to students of all ages is, oh, all you do is get to talk on the mic and have fun and go to parties and see celebrities all day. Now look, parts of that is true. However, I still have to do work. Yes, it's fun because once you do something that you love, which radio is something that I love, it doesn't feel like work. But I have to do work to get the story. I have to do work to get the information properly transferred to my audience. Think about it. You, at times, depending on what station you are on the air at as a talent, you could have millions of people listening to you. So the pressure is on at that point. Hate to say it, but whatever you say, it's going to stay in people's ears, in their mind, on the tip of their tongue, and be like, hey, Roxie said that. Hey, Flex said that. Hey, Laura Stiles said that. So if what you said is wrong, you're going to forever be the talent that, oh, she said it and she was wrong. Oh, she said it. Oh, she dissed this one. She dissed that one. So instead of being out there and looking like you're unprepared, you got to get prepared. You know that phrase where they say, you ain't got to get ready if you stay ready, something like that. I'm horrible with cliches, but I constantly am in the business of always knowing what's going on, but not only knowing what's going on, I have to double, triple, quadruple source every fact that I get, everything. I have to check all my sources 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, because I don't want to be the person out there that gets it wrong. That's embarrassing. So if you are in the business of wanting to get into something like journalism, think about that. You want to be a credible person. You know how they say, get your street cred up? For real. Don't be out here saying it's going to rain at 5 o'clock, and by the time 5 o'clock comes, it's 95 degrees. You don't want to be that person. Last but not least, teaching came to me because it was always in me. So first and foremost, before I even got into radio, I wanted to be a teacher. It just so happened I changed my mind when I got to college and said, I want to change my major. This is what I really feel like. I took a leap of faith at age 19, never looked back. But deep down in my heart, internally, I was still a teacher, still teaching people things. Although it's radio and you think of it as music and just dancing and just going to events and being popular, there is a form of teaching within the medium itself. So when you're on the mic and you're informing people, you're educating people, and you're entertaining people, that's a form of teaching, just through music and radio, So in a way, I was always a teacher, but it translated, thankfully, and as a blessing to me, through the eyes of friends who were already at that level of teaching higher education, and they saw something in me and brought me in, which happens to be the pattern and the story of my life. Because a lot of people, when you believe in yourself and you have a great circle around you and support, others believe in you the way you believe in you. So I had friends and family that looked at me the way I saw myself. So when they brought me in, I was like, what's funny? I in the back of my mind, I always thought about teaching, and it just came to me. And, it's been 2 years now since I've been teaching college. Maybe I should entertain this, and maybe this is a way of God saying that, hey, you always wanted this. I'm going to give it to you now. Figure out what you want to do with it. If you want to keep it, keep it. If you don't, you don't. And I love it. And I'm going to keep it. I love my students. They are great. They challenge me to be better. Shout out to Iona College and all the freshmen through seniors that I teach. I do teach undergrads, so I teach freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. I teach a radio production class, and the things I've seen them produce and put together, and the stories that I've heard, and the work that they have given me to grade have been phenomenal. So I would never, ever, ever take away that opportunity that was granted to me by Dr. Nadine Cosby. I have to give it up to my fellow Black Magic Queen, my fellow Greek sister. Thank you so much for that opportunity. But I say this, I'm about to end this video. I need to give you all some words of encouragement, because that's what we all do, right? It's not going to be your typical cliche. I'm not coming with the what goes around comes around. But I will tell you to always use your voice. Appropriate for me to say that to you, because that's what I did. From beginning to end of me telling you this story, I used what? My voice to tell you, what I've been through, what I'm going through, what I continue to go through. So the most important thing and most powerful thing that you have at your own fingertips is your voice. And if you can't use it, at least write it down. Write down your thoughts and let other people, show other people out there what you're all about. Okay? That's all for now. I thank you so much. I'd like to thank Kaleidoscope Multimedia Productions for allowing me to be involved in this. And, you guys are our future, no matter what's going on now, whether it's COVID-19 or anything that we go through. We need you to be the voice of what's going on. We need you to guide us. So thank you so much. It's Roxie, repping Brooklyn and Long Island. Follow me on social media at Roxie Digital, Roxie Digital, on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. See you soon. Stay safe and stay home.